Hi friends, it's Andrea with Journals for Life, and I wanted to come and do a quick tutorial with the tag stacker die that I have new in shop. This is what it looks like, and it comes with two labels, this larger label and then this smaller label. I'm using this one today. I use it here. So I don't have this one out, but this is what it looks like. This is what the die looks like packaged, but here it is. It is kind of an odd looking die, and this big open space was cut out because I wanted to add some more pieces. You know, you pay for the space whether you use it or not, so I had them include a couple tags or labels here, but it does cut a solid piece. So it cuts a piece that looks like, I just did 100 make and takes for Stamp Fest, so it cuts a piece that looks like that. This is what it looks like. Okay, so you see that this piece here is solid. It cuts it out here, and then it has these two flaps. So what is this die, and why does it look like that, and what can I do with it? Glad you asked. So this tag stacker die, I've had so much fun. It's been in my mind for a very long time because I like to add, you know, a bunch of tags and ephemera to my books, and you don't get a lot of real estate in the book sometimes, and I like more. So this die was made to make this, and you can either put a backer on it, like a 4x8. You cut a 4x8 piece of cardstock or paper, but I designed it to stick straight into your book. So this is it right here. So what I did was I took the die cut, I put glue on this flap and this flap, and actually put it in this orientation. I put a line of glue on the bottom. The reason I didn't put flaps is because you can decide if you want to leave the top or the bottom open, if you want to put it on your page like this, if you want to put it on your page like this. So for this one, I decided I wanted to use small tags and small pieces of ephemera. So I glued the flaps, I put a little line of glue here, and I adhered it straight to my page. And like I said, if you don't want to do it to your page, you want to make like a little pocket. We'll be making these at Stamp Fest February the 11th in Clearwater, Florida. I'll put a link below. You can come by and make one with me if you're in the area. But you can put a backer card on it if you want to stick it some other place, like in your scrapbook or on a card or like a gift card or something like that. You can cut a 4x8 piece out and do it that way as well. But it's made to go in a standard travel note size or any type of journal that's larger than 4x8. So the finished die is 4x8. So you can put it anywhere else that's bigger than that size. So this is what it looks like. So the small label is meant to go in this space. So I put a small label here and used a piece of die cut to make a title. And then since this tag was so tall, it covered up this area. So there wasn't enough room for a big label. So I just put this here. So that's something to keep in mind. But this label right here is made to cut you out a little title or journaling or whatever you want to put there. It's made to make you a little label like that as an option. And so I tucked this little piece of ephemera in from the ephemera pack, and then this medium tag. And so then you see that there aren't really good pockets, I feel like, or tag places to stick tags that stay in. So I thought that maybe making it where you could use short tags or short pieces of ephemera, or you can use large. You have options. I love that. Then the best thing is, since I glued it down here at the bottom, there's this opening here at the top. You can either glue that down, like if you don't want an opening at the top, just glue that down. But I leave it open because now you get even more real estate. So like, wait, there's more. And then you can put this in. This is about a little less than 8 inches because you have to leave that line of glue for the bottom. So this is probably, looks like it's maybe a 1/4 inch shy, so it's probably about 7.5 to 7 3/4 inches tall. and it's about 3 to 3.5 inches wide, so it fits nicely behind there. And so then you get a nice little stack of tags, and that's why it's called the tag stacker die. So that's the way you can use it on the short side. So let's look and see what that looks like for the tall side. So this was scraps in my stash, and I hand make tags all the time with leftover paper. So this is what it looks like with the tall side and leaving the blank space on the bottom. So I glued it here, and I glued the flaps. I left the top open. So again, you have more real estate. You can put that tag in the top. Put your journaling there if you want. And then this is made for just any tags that you have in your stash, or, you know, whatever. It's made to go in just like that. So you have 3 tags and card there. And all you do is you just glue that to your page, just like that. You can do other things. Like I mentioned earlier, I've heard lots of people have different ideas. So that is how you put that together. Let me show you this one. So here's another one, and you can see how I have a finished title here. So that's the label. And then I decorated it, and I used some of the small tags. So I had these little bitty tags. I love little bitty tags. It's really hard to duck them places, I find. Maybe you don't. So leave me some comments below on other ideas that you have for me that I could use. But that's why this was born, this die, because I like to kind of do that. And I really didn't have a good way to do that. And there you go. Stick straight to the page. And it's not super like thick, so it doesn't make your books too bulky. You know, it's still relatively flat. So that's another way that I use it, and I'm going to assemble one right now. So I'm going to show you how to take a 6x6 piece of paper and get the most out of it. So this is what I do. Grab my cutter, and I know that this giant cutter is not all in focus here. I understand. So I cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I cut it in half, 6 by 12. I usually cut it in half this way with lines. If you have lines, I just think it would look strange that way. So I make sure that grids or graphs, papers, whatever, make sure you have your orientation. You're cutting the paper with the 6 by 12 piece. The die is going to go here, so make sure you cut your paper where you want the die, what you want to show on the die. So I cut the paper in half. So that's 2 6 by 12 pieces of paper. And then what I do is I take the 6 by 12s and I cut them to 8.5, because that's the size that's needed for the die. So the die with the flaps here, you'll need to cut it at 8.5. So I have 2 pieces of paper that are 6 by 8.5. And I'm only going to use one of these to cut my die out of. Now you can, here's an option. You can either cut 2 out if you like this paper. For me, this is a plain piece of paper that I love. So most likely I would cut out both of these with the die. And then this piece of paper here, since I've cut 1,000, not quite, but quite a few for Stamp Fest, I make these into tags. So you can cut 1 out, or cut 2 out, and then you'll have 2 automatic tags here. So I cut the tags to about 3.5. Let's see, maybe, so let's see, that's 3.5. 3.5 is not going to fit. So let's do either 3 or 3.25. So 3, 3.25, and then you see how, well, now you have 2 tags. You can turn them over too if you want. Okay. And then let's say that you don't want to cut this into a, you don't want to make another, like 2 die cuts out of the same piece of paper. You can always cut a large tag. So that's 3.5 by about, I'm going to start with 7 3/4, and you can use it as your tall tag. And then you have this piece, so you can maybe use it as your bottom tag. So that's how you can get it out of a 1 12 by 12 piece of paper. Will create what you see right here, or it'll make one tag and 2 of these tag stacker dies. Okay, I'll put the measurements in down below so you can see that again. I will put that in the description. So I'm going to assemble this tag stacker die, and I'm going to assemble it in a book as it's intended, but you can do it on a piece of cardstock, just like I said. So I intend for this to go just like that, to have some kind of backing piece of paper. I like how this looks. So let's see, I'm going to do it this way because I want longer pieces. And from the cutoffs of the tag stacker dies that I made for Stamp Fest, I have a bunch of these pieces left over. These were the 3-inch pieces. So I grabbed some that match the February 2023 Friends kit, so I can go ahead and set that up. The great thing about this die is you can use it month after month after month. And all of the dies that I have in shop, I use every month. So I'll cut out several pieces while I have it. And I know what I'll be working on, and I know what colors the kits are. So I generally will cut out a stack, and then I use it month over month. Okay, so I'm going to put this side up and this side open. So leaving this side open, I'm going to put a line of glue at the bottom here. Okay. And then you take it like this. Oops, I have some tweezers somewhere. And you just kind of put it down, centered, just like that. And how nice does that look? And then here are the offcuts of that 12 by 12 piece of paper. You cut it in half, and then you have to cut the bottoms off of it. These are the bottoms. So, I like that. Oops, that was 2. I guess you could put 2 in there. There's that one. And there's, I know what colors the kit's going to be. So I'll probably, so this is how I make tags, quick and easy. Let me show you a quick way to make tags. I'm going to make this a little shorter so it kind of doesn't overshoot that. That probably needs to cut down 2 like that, and then you have this one. I might have cut that one too short. Let's try that one maybe. That one, let's try that one. Okay, I like that better. So you have 3 there stacking. So this is how I make a tag. I take the piece of paper and I line up the edges like this, pinch it, and then I just cut a little edge off like that. You don't want to bend it too much here because then it, you know, creases your tag too much, but you just do that. Okay, and then you see right here where you bent it, that's where you know to cut the hole punch. Right in the middle there. Okay, and then I have some tag reinforcers on the page flip out die. So If you need some hole reinforcers, go look at the page Flip Out Die. And I also have these. I don't have these stickers in the shop. I use these stickers from another brand. I don't have very many left, so I put a hole reinforcer on the Flip Out die, so I always have some hole reinforcers, and I use those a lot. Actually, I'll crank them through some like small pieces of paper, or you know, if you put a die in and you have like this much left at the top of the die, I'll stick that hole reinforcer die on there and run it through, so I always have some on hand. So there you go. And then for a last final touch, I've got maybe pinks. My dogs say hello. That one. And which one did I not use? The dark one. The dark pink. So I don't want to pull too hard. I have pulled this through all the way several times and broke my paper. So ugh, I'm not good at small tactile movements. There we go. And this one. Let's see, and I think I cut a long one too. Yep, I did. Out of the demo paper. Sorry about the pause. All right, so there you go. So you have this one, that one, and that one. All right, and then this is, I'm not sure I'm going to use this piece of paper. I don't know if it goes well unless maybe I stamp in these colors, but just for the demo's purpose, there you go. And then you put this one in the top. Sometimes you have to look in there, make sure that you're getting it inside the flaps. Yep. Uh-oh, what am I doing? What's going wrong in here? Let's see what's happening. Okay. You. Let's check that again. Must have been something stuck in there, but there you go. All right, and then what you can do further is grab this. So you can use stamps. So if you wanted, before you glued it into your book, you can stamp a title on there. You can add a label like that, and then put something on top of the label, like I did here. You know, make a title, use your stickers that way. Use some ephemera layers. You can cut out some journaling from the computer, like if you print it out and then put this on top, cut it out, stick it there. Just so many things to do. So that's it. So that's how you use the tag stacker die, and this is what it looks like. They're new in shop. Go check it out. Bye friends.